Right, hello and welcome to one of the best track toys you can own in Gran Turismo 7. This is the Honda S2000. So what makes this car such a good vehicle for the track? Well, it comes with a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4-cylinder that pumps out 242 brake horsepower and it only weighs 1240 kgs. Now the car is not the most powerful thing out there, but considering the fact that the vehicle is lightweight means that it doesn't really need that much power to actually be that good of a vehicle. Plus, with the vehicle having a tried and tested format, with it being front engine rear wheel drive, it means that this car is going to be absolutely fantastic. So now when we take it around circuit, we see that around Kyoto Driving Park, down the main straightaway, we see that we are traveling at just under 200 kilometers per hour, coming in at 198 before we need to slam on the brakes to make it around the first corner. Now the thing is, you slam on the brakes and you might actually notice that the vehicle wants to step out or wants to slide a little bit, because when pushing a vehicle around the corners, well, you're gonna notice that it actually wants to slide out. Now usually with a vehicle like this, it's usually just the rear end. However, with the S2000, I actually noticed that the entire car slid across the track. So it was something that I wasn't expecting, but when it comes to just the responsiveness of the car, you can feel that okay, it is a sports car, but compared to modern day times, it is an outdated sports car. You can feel at the time when this car came out in 1999 to have been the #1 option if you wanted a true sports car, but honestly now compared to what we have on offer, you can see the age of the S2000. But the thing is, with the S2000 there is a bit of history, because if we see, the S2000 was a revolutionary car. It symbolized the company's direction in sports cars and their deep connection with motorsports. And when they say that, they're talking about the involvement in F1, and that's how they were able to really develop an engine that was able to hit 9,000 RPM. Yes, a bone standard car was able to reach 9,000 RPM. So with this extremely high revving engine, it allowed the vehicle to really stretch its legs and also give off the sound of a superbike. Now if we look at the true roots of the S2000, we can find this all the way back in the 1960s with the Honda S series cars. The S500, 600 as well as 800 all had the influence on the Honda S2000, that being that they all follow the blueprint of a 2-seater convertible front engine rear wheel drive sports car. The philosophy behind these cars was that the engine and suspension work together in harmony to maximize performance and pleasure. Now when you actually drive the vehicle, especially when you are going around corners, the car is exciting. Now yes, it may not be the fastest thing out there when it comes to going around a straight line or even just building power overall, but the vehicle, you can feel what they mean when they talk about the components working in complete harmony to give you the best experience, because that's what comes across when you get behind the wheel of the Honda S2000. Now let's say you want to purchase the Honda S2000, well, you can pick it up from the used car dealership for 97,200 credits. So it's just under 100,000. It's not the cheapest car on the market, but it's not expensive at all. We see that my fastest lap time around Kyoto Driving Park was actually a 2 minute dead. 2 minutes flat was my fastest lap time around Kyoto Driving Park, which I will admit is not really that impressive. So let's actually go and change it and see if we can actually improve the overall handling so it doesn't just slide across the circuit, and that we can actually squeeze some more power out of this inline 4. So now if we head on over to the tuning shop, we see that we have quite a lot of upgrades, including some ultimate parts. So once we start adding all of these upgrades to just beef up the performance of the Honda S2000, well, that means we are going to be left with 444 brake horsepower and a vehicle that comes in at a weight of 1016 kgs. So we've pulled more weight out of the Honda S2000, and we've added more than 200 horsepower to it. So this should make it very exciting when it comes to using the vehicle around the circuit. But before we do that, we're going to head on over to GT Auto, because when we do this, we are going to be able to add some body modifications onto the vehicle to just not only increase the aesthetics of it, but to improve the downforce and just keep the car more planted to the circuit. So after picking a livery and adding on some aero parts, maxing out the downforce, we are then able to tackle Chaos Driving Park once again. Now, once the car is fully upgraded on Racing Soft's max downforce and fully upgraded with all of the parts possible, it comes in at 713 performance points, which look is not extremely outrageous for this vehicle. It is in the realm that you would expect it to be, and because of that, you can just slightly detune it and you are going to hit that 700 performance points mark, which means you are going to be able to participate in a lot more events. Now, should you actually use this vehicle when it comes to those events? If there's fuel consumption involved, I'd stay away from it, but if there's no fuel consumption involved, this is a really good option. Because if we take it around Chaos Driving Park, we see that the vehicle is extremely stable when it comes to taking corners. It doesn't have the rear end stepping out a lot, which is actually perfect in my opinion. We don't want a car that's just sliding all over the place if you are looking to set fast lap times. The downforce really helps out a lot with this vehicle, and even with just having the suspension set up in a decent manner, not aggressive, not overly aggressive, but able to still go over bumps, and it will set a lot faster times. And especially now with the added power we see coming down Chaos Driving Park straight away, we are hitting almost 250 kilometers per hour. That is 50 more than standard before we need to brake going into a fast corner. And the thing is, when you slam on the brake, it's very responsive. The car is extremely nimble, it's very darty, it's very point and shoot. So whatever you want out of the Honda S2000, you can get out of the Honda S2000. But in my opinion, it's not really, I mean, you can set it up for drifting and such, but I see it being a perfect time attack vehicle, the perfect vehicle for any circuit that's very intricate. Because this vehicle, honestly, I had more fun with this vehicle going around corners and really pushing it to its limits than I had speeding down the straightaway. So when I say you are gonna have a lot of fun on a very windy circuit than a circuit with a massive straightaway, so I would stray away from Le Mans. So the Honda S2000 is a fantastic vehicle, it's affordable, and we see that around Chaos Driving Park with the vehicle being fully upgraded. It comes in with a fastest lap of 1 minute 35.6, which is really respectable. It's not extremely fast, but it's not a slow time. It's a really reasonable time for a vehicle of its age. So the Honda S2000, I can see a possible engine swap coming for this, but hey, fingers crossed, and we'll see how it goes. But honestly, the iconic Honda S2000 with its high revving engine is just a fantastic vehicle to be behind the wheel of, and if you haven't tried it out yet, I highly recommend it. So with those being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys in the next Gran Turismo video. Peace.